Now start with the prayer. Close your eyes, palms together. Take the blessing from the Guru, God, and Jesus. You feel you are done, slowly open your eyes. Okay, today we are going to start with the Gocharam first, then we will jump revision, then we will follow over today's class. That's a quick agenda for today's class. Okay, why I'm having this practice of the Gocharam? As we are moving forward, we need to understand some of the basic things in the Pancham that will help you to clearly understand or clear understanding while you're reading the books or when other people are speaking. You have a clear understanding about them. Or else whenever you see any of the birth chart, you can clearly, at least you have a higher view what kind of this Jataka will look like, or what kind of the person you are holding in your hand. You can understand everything. Once you know that the basic understanding about the Panjang or the Gocharam. So, okay, let's see about the today's Gocharam. First thing, we have to see the Chandra in in which Rasi. It was in the Tula Rasi. And next thing you have to see about the Rahu and Ketu. We already remember that Rahu in the Meena, Ketu in the Kanya Rasi. This one we already fixed. The yearly planets you have to see. Which one it is? Jupiter, Mars, and the Saturn. Mangal was in the Rishabha. Guru is also in the Rishabha. See this one. This is a good combination. Mangal is also in the Rishabha. Guru is also in the Rishabha. And there was one more planet. Where is the Saturn? Yes, Saturn is in the Kumbha Rashi. Once you understand this Gocharam very well, you don't need to see the thing every hour, at least once in a day, because the Gocharam is the daily planetary motion. For the Rahu and Ketu, Mangal, Guru, and the Saturn is a yearly planet, so you no need to look into every day. But the other things are the quick planet is the Chandran, so you have to see at least 2.25 days every time where the Chandra will be. And you can also understand when the Chandra was over on your Lagna, how your mind was going, how you were behaving. And for example, if any of the people here is a Tula Lagna, no?
Rashi, mine is Tula Rashi, Vishakha.
Rashi, oh, Rashi, then Chandra over Chandra.
Correct. Yes.
Then what's your the entire day? How the days will be?
Okay. I think it entered yesterday. Yeah, man. So far it's fine. So far,
then your Chandra was in a very good place. Then, if the Chandra over Chandra was giving a good symptoms in your life, then definitely Chandra was placed very good in your Janana Jataka.
Yeah, actually, on Tuesday, it will be exactly crossing my natal position, and that will be my 60th birthday.
Wow! Congratulations!
Advance birthday wishes, sir.
Yeah, belated birthday wishes, and that too it was 60. That's totally awesome.
Yeah, milestone birthday. Very happy birthday to you. Yeah.
Thank you. And,
yesterday it was in Kanya. The moon was in Kanya. Horrible I had experience. Heavy, terrific, tense, stress, everything. Yesterday, it was Kanya, and also Nakshatra was also Chitta Nakshatra. Yesterday, just not today, yesterday.
In your chart, where is your Chandra?
Yesterday was Kanya. Yesterday was in Kanya only.
Your Janana Jatagam, Chandran is also placed in the Kanya Rasi?
Kanya, yeah. And also here also in this one. I had a very hectic day, very tenseful.
It happens when the Chandra over the Chandra, it will give you the mind stress. If the Chandra was not placed proper and not in a good auspicious place in your Jataka. But don't worry, it will be go away in a 2.25 days, definitely.
Yeah, in the evening it vanished all. Morning sunrise, In the evening sunset, no, it went off.
Yeah, that's the power of the Chandra.
Okay.
It won't be lost long for more than 2.25 days. You will see the
Okay.
emotion will change at least when the Chandra was moving over one Rashi to the another.
Okay.
And now, usually I ask you to see the Chandra over Chandra, right? Now after today, see on when your Lagna was, when the Chandra is moved over on your Lagna. For example, today is the Tula Lagna. Check the Tula Lagna people. If you are in a Tula Lagna, how your body was behaving, how your mind was behaving. Check that one and take a note of it. Make it as an astrology journal entry like that. It will help you to be revised the entire after an year, right? When you go through the exact notes, whatever you made, you will understand yourself more than ever.
Okay.
And it's all about what kind of the food you intake, which place you went, which persons you met, and what kind of the person you are seeing on particular day. That is also you can take a note of it. You will understand what kind of the cosmic energy you acquired for the entire year. It will be a little bit of work, but it's worth at the end of the year.
Okay, thank you. Another thing you told me on that eighth house you see for what is that eighth house you told me last time?
For example, you are considered the Tula Lagna. Okay, today was a Tula. Chandra was in the Tula Rashi. Now from the Tula Lagna, considered you are the Tula Lagna, which is the eighth house.
Mars, Monday, Guru. Eighth is
Rishabha is your eighth house, right?
Yeah.
So when the Chandra was coming on the Rishabha Rasi, check your mind, check yourself. Particularly your mind and emotion, and based on the emotion, what kind of an actions you are taking. Make a note of it.
Okay.
And don't be paranoid with that kind. You be natural and see what's happening in you. But this is the quite tough, because when you are behaving, you are not able to see you as a third person. That's quite tough in every situation. But try to be at the end of for example, today the Chandra was on the Shubha Rashi. At the end of the day, analyze yourself. What kind of situation you come across, what kind of the people you come across, and how you behave. What kind of the emotional trauma you went through, or emotional happiness you went through, or it was a roller coaster ride, or it was the cakewalk. You wrote everything, and you finally understand what kind of a day it will be.
Okay.
But I will tell you one more thing. When the Chandra over Chandra, you may not have an time or patience to write that kind of the journal also.
Well, interestingly, my Lagna is Meena and Chandra is placed in 8th house for me. So, I mean, it's just a normal day for me. So, it's fine.
Okay, one more thing also. When your day was really normal, thanks to the universe, it's really a best. It was a good day for you. Don't get the thing which this all the information which I'm giving. Get more involved in it, because when you are more involved in it, the graha will take that kind of an energy in you, and it will, whatever you thinking, it will give you. I'm just giving us an information. Watch over them. I'm not telling whenever the Chandra over Chandra, you will get stressed. No, it's not all the time. What I'm telling you is, your day is a good or bad, see as a third person. Don't invite the Graha energy into yourself without the Graha was giving. Let it be, because when you think about the Graha all the time, that energy will come to you. There is also one practice. If there was a moon energy was not in your body, moon energy less in your body, if you think about the moon or you sit under the moon, you will get the moon energy sufficient, whatever necessary in your body. The sun's energy was not there in your body, you just sit under the sun, you will get the sun's energy. You may think it was an easy, but the people who are insufficient energy in them, they may not able to do this. Okay, let's come back to here. This is all you have to see this as a third person, not yourself. Don't be sit in yourself and see as a third person. When the Chandra over on your Chandra at your 8th house, Chandra on your Lagna, see as a third person. Okay, I'll keep on repeating the same thing. See as a third person, see as a third person. Okay?
Chandra Lagna means from the Lagna.
The day is the good, thank to the universe, and it was a great, you are really a lucky person. What is that? You're saying something?
Chandra should eighth house from which place, madam?
Okay, now someone was saying that Rahu, so Meena is their Lagna, right? So if the Meena is the Lagna, which is the 8th house?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is the Tula.
Tula is the 8th house, right? So for him, Tula is the 8th house. So for this day, it was the best for him to look himself, how he was reacting, how his emotions will be, what kind of the actions he is along. This all a good day for him to watch him.
So only on
He
8th
said
house.
it was a very. He also said that till now he was having a very good day.
So from Lagna we have to see.
Only the 8th house. When it comes in the 8th house alone, we are watching it.
See, this is considered. This is your Lagna, okay? So which is your 8th house now? This is your 8th house, right? So there are
Yeah.
3 things we are going to see. One is Lagna, when the Chandra is here on your Gocharam. See this one, okay? Consider this is your Rasi.
Okay.
See this one as your 8th house.
Vanita, there is some noise. Can you mute everyone?
Unmute everybody, please unmute yourself when you want to speak. Okay, there are 3 things we have to see. One is imagine this one as your Janana Jatak. This is your Meena Lagna. When the Chandra was on your Lagna, see that. When the Chandra, consider in your Janana Jatakam itself, Chandra and Tula Rasi. See that the second scenario. Chandra over Chandra on the Gocharam. The third one which I said was, for the Meena Lagna, imagine you are also Tula Rasi, and the 8th house, Tula Rasi is also your 8th house. See that how is working for you. There are the 3 things which we discussed, like Lagnam and the Rashi where the moon was placed in your Janana Jatakam, and the 8th house. See this one when the Gochara sun was traveling. See these 3 points. This one understandable easily?
Now, what is the third point? First 2 are fine. Chandra in Lagna, Chandra under Tula's Rasi. But what is the third one? You see Tula Rasi, where Chandra and Chandra? I don't know that.
It's the combination of Lagna and Rashi.
Someone was saying she is having a Tula Rasi, and for him, in his Janana Jatakam, the Chandra was in the Tula Rasi, right?
Yeah, and also Lagna is Meena for me.
What is it?
Lagna is Meena. So, 8th house.
Okay.
Yeah.
His Lagna was Meena Lagna, and his Rashi was the Tula Rasi. So, in his Janana Jatakam, the Chandra was in the Tula Rasi itself. Okay. Leave this all the Graha. Consider, imagine only his Lagna and the Chandra in the Tula Rasi. Now in the Gocharam, the Chandra was in the Tula Rasi only.
Okay.
And his 8th house is also the Tula Rasi.
Also, yeah, I understood.
So there's a 3 points. One is you see your 8th house from your Lagna, and the moon, where moon means in your Janana Jatakam, where the Chandra was placed, and your Lagna. When the Gochara Chandran was traveling along this Rasi, imagine this pinpoint, see this point particularly. Lagna over Chandra, Rashi over Chandra, 8th house over Chandra. These 3 points remember. Don't worry about other things. We will come back to that later. When the Sunny over Chandra, what you will behave. When the Sunny, Rahu, Chandra over Rahu, Chandra over Ketu, what you will behave. That will come later. But these 3 points remember. How you are behaving. Watch over again and again. Don't, I'm repeating the same thing again. Don't get paranoid. See all things as your third person. But I know on my experience, I can tell you, it's really difficult to see you as a third person, but make it as a practice. It will come one day, definitely will come. Not a big task, but it will come definitely, but it needs your effort. Okay, let's come back here. Okay, let's quickly go with the Pancham today. Today is the Tithi is the Ashtami, and there we are having the 2 Tithis at the Ashtami up to 7:55 p.m. This is according to the Indian. Okay, Navami after that. Then the today's nakshatra is the Chitra in Tamil, Chitra. 12:36 a.m. after till July. Next day, full day till in the midnight. Then the Swati Nakshatra will start. Yoga is the Shiva Yoga. Till 8:45, it's finished already. Siddha Yoga, now it was going on. Don't worry about the Yoga Karna, you didn't know anything about it. I make you to practice, hear the name again and again. You will come into an understanding once you know this. And the Karna is the Bhava Karna. The people who born on the Tula Lagna, they have this Bhava Lagna, Bhava Karana, not Bhava Lagna, Bhava Karana. Bhava Karanam 755 and Balava Karanam entire night. Then the weekdays, Ravivara means Sunday. Sunday is the first prominent energy is the sun energy. Shukla Paksha, this is after the Paurnami day. So it's coming as the Shukla Paksha. Going to be a Paurnami, so it's a Shukla Paksha. Okay, the coming Paurnami is the very good Paurnami day. I believe everyone will know that. Okay, next we going into, this is about the Panchang today. Okay, next we are getting into our quick revision for 5 minutes. Oh, it's already, okay, I will go through the revision for very quickly, then we'll getting into the today's class. At least we will finish 2 bhavas at least today. I will go very fast from here. When you see the Jatakam, the first thing you have to note about the which day, which Tithi, Nakshatra, Yoga and Karana. Understand the Panchanga of the Janana Jatakam in your hand. Then see the Lagna and what is in aspects. Aspects means it includes the Graha in the Lagna aspecting any other Rasi or any other Rasi as any other Graha in the Rashi is aspecting the Lagna. Both the things included. Then find the yearly Graha, Jupiter, Saturn and Mars, where it was placed, what are their aspects. Then coming into the houses and the planets understanding. When you have the Lagna understanding that is your first house, then it is easy for you to make the second, third, fourth until the 12th house. When you are seeing that house, 1 to 12 houses, see where the Graha was and its aspect also. Here you have to additionally note one point here. What is that? You have to know the placement of the Kala Purusha chart and combine this with your Janana Jatakam. What does that mean? You imagine you have a Tula Lagna, and for you it was the first house. Yes or no? For the Tula Lagna people, Tula Rasi is the first house. Yes, right?
Yes.
In the Kala Purusha chart, what is the number for the Tula Rasi for the Kala Purusha chart?
8th.
7th house.
So keep that in mind whenever you see every houses. So for the Tula Lagna, first house is the Tula Rasi. Kala Purusha chart is the 7th house. When you're moving into the 2nd house for the Tula Lagna people is the Vrikshaga. Kala Purusha chart is the 8th house. 9th house, 3rd house is the Dhanush. For the Kala Purusha chart, it is the 9th house. Go on with this till you reach the 12th house. 12th house for Tula Lagna for is the Kanya. In the Kala Purusha chart, it is the 6th house. So remember this one. This point is an additional for this week. You have to be understand your Janana Jatakam, what is your underlying Kala Purusha chart number also. How it is going to help you, we'll see that in every classes after that. Okay. Understand about the high degree planet, low degree planet about your Janana Jatakam. Remember, get hold of the high degree planet Devata. That is the best and best for you. If you had any kind of the problems in your life, you seek answers in your life, get hold of the high degree planet Devata. That is the best way to find every answers in your life. Then
Atmakaraka, right? That's Atmakaraka.
Yes, Atmakaraka. Yes, exactly. And the Kocharam. Okay, I told you also last week, why I asked you to understand the low degree planet. The low degree Devata, whatever you may ask them, you may not get that energy very easily. But for the higher degree planet, there is so many possibilities you will have to reach that Devata. Okay? Whenever you see the Janana Jatakam, keep the Kocharam next to you. Why? Because we didn't, still now we didn't even learn about Janana Jatakam and the Kocharam next to each other. But keep a practice, we'll tell you that later. Okay? Let's move on into the quick revision. First house, it is about yourself. The first house exactly represents character, significance, what is your complexion, your sorrow, what you will gain, especially in your body, it is about your head and face. In a simple word, it is about your person. It is your self-life. How long you will live, what is your health, what is your nature. Everything's in the first house. The second house, an interesting thing, mainly it is about family, speech, and wealth. What kind of the bank balance you are having, your right eye, yearly age, you are very early age, and your self-earned wealth, whatever the damage you will have. Mainly, you remember when it comes into the third house, see about your family, the speech, and about the what kind of the worldly possession you will have. Okay? If these three things keeps in your mind, that's more than enough. Then the third house is the Bhava, that is about your courage, siblings, courage, and the relationship with your siblings. Mainly, it's on younger siblings, younger sister or younger brother. Your communication, how the speech is on the second house, communication is on the third house. Don't confuse each other. Your courage, intelligent communication comes in the third house. The body parts, when comes into the body parts, arms, right ear, and the shoulders. If you are going to involve in the art, culture, or the sports, look into the third house first. Then you're moving into the. Whenever you see any specific thing, keep that in mind. Get a base of your lagna first. Then keep looking into the other characteristics. For example, if some person was asking you, if my he or she the Jataka was can able to enter into the sports or well versed in the sports or not. Look into the lagna first, then see the third bhava. Then other things also you have to see. We'll see that later. But at this present, the third house is for art, culture, and passion. Mainly for the sports. The people who are involved in the sports, definitely they will have the very good third house. Okay, now this is the revision was done. Now getting into our today's class. That is about the fourth house. Is the Matrustha. That Matra means your mother. In a simple words, it's mainly telling about your mother, land, and asset vehicle. What is your relationship with your mother, and how your mother will behave? How is your mother will be your mother is strict, or your mother is lenient towards you, or your mother is hand holding in everything. You can see everything in your fourth house. Okay, this house significance mother, property, whatever the property you will have, conveyance, domestic surroundings, and the happiness. Whatever, wherever you are living, your domestic surroundings and the happiness. Mainly consider this point. If you are happy or not, you can easily understand from the fourth house. Or else, what things makes you happy? Somebody will say, I don't know what kind, will tell you, I don't know what makes me happy. Don't see the fourth house. It will clearly show you what kind of the happiness, what kind of the things makes you happiness. And the basic education. Here starts the basic education. Fourth house is your basic education. Old age environments, your private affairs. If the fourth house was not having an auspicious graha, or the fourth house was not in a good state, then inauspicious energy was enhanced. Your private affairs may not be good, or it may your private affairs may lead you to lose your reputation. Public inheritance and the false allegation may comes if the fourth house is not a problem, it's not having a good graha or auspiciousness was reduced, then definitely the false allegation will come. And agricultural land and its produce. If the fourth house was having a very good grahas in it, then there is a possibility of you having for holding an agricultural land. And you not only the having an agricultural land, but you can also able to produce from your agricultural land. And from comes into your human body, remember this one, mainly understand the human body. It represents your breast, chest, heart, lungs, stomach, elbow joints. Why I'm giving emphasis on this? If you want to learn and understand about the medical astrology, you have to be in better understanding in your foundation. That is the basic is whatever you are learning now. You have a deeper understanding, or get hold of this, what the human body represents, which house. That's more than enough at the basic level. Okay, the main thing is bow to the mother, the property, and the happiness. If these three things are you understand, then the fourth house you clearly understand. Okay. For a quick take your Janana Jatagam. Whenever upcoming classes, always hold the Janana Jatagam in your hand. It's easy. You can see the which graha in your fourth house or fifth house, sixth house, or you have to keep in your mind. In my fourth house, what graha it will be, in which degree. You have to have that kind of understanding about your Janana Jatagam. Okay. In your fourth house, see which graha in it. Do it, please do it now also. Now itself. Look into your Janana Jatagam, take 30 seconds at least, and see. Can we have the 20 minutes before for today's class? We already reaching 3 o'clock. Is that okay for everyone?
Yes, yes. For me.
Okay, take the Janana Jatagam first and see in the fourth house what are the grahas in.
Should we be looking into the Bhava Kundali or should we be looking into still the
Your
Lagna
Janana
Kundali?
Jatagam. Your Janana Jatagam.
Okay. I have Rahu.
Fourth house is the Rahu. And which is your Lagna?
Meena Lagna.
Meena Lagna, fourth house will be, which one it is?
Mithuna.
Mithuna Rasi. Mithuna and the Rahu will be. Okay. Now this is the good exercise for everyone. For him is the Mithuna Lagna. Yeah, I really want to draw the diagram. Give me a second. Forgive me. I know my lines are not straight. Let's having a quick example. Okay, his Lagna was the Mithuna Lagna. Sorry, Meena Lagna. And his fourth house was Mithuna Rasi, Rahu in it. Okay, now here there is a thing. Who's the owner of the Mithuna Rasi?
Buddha.
Buddha, right? Okay. Rahu and the Buddha you may not consider as a friends or an enemy. Leave that point aside now. But at this point, his where is your Buddha?
Australasia. Next, Kataka. Buddha is in Kataka.
Here itself. Okay. The Buddha is in the Karka. Okay. Wow. Then the owner was in the fifth house, that is in the progeny house. We'll see that later. Here, the owner of the moon is friend to Mercury, but Mercury is not a friend to moon. Moon and Mercury may class each other. Owner is friendly. Owner is neutral to everyone. He is accepting Mercury as his friend. But Mercury is not like the moon. He only likes the his fathers, that is sun. So here the conflict starts, and the Rahu was in the owner was in the fifth house. In the Buddha, Rahu was there. This is the situation now. You have any graha in the Lagna?
No.
Okay. At this point, whatever you understand from here, tell me that. Mainly, you understand about the mother, property, and the happiness. Only these three things. Okay, let's go one by one. Let's say about, please don't mind if we say anything wrong. Please forgive us. It's all about your exercise only. Over Jatagam it is. Thank you so much for your giving this example. But if you tell us anything wrong, please don't mind us. Okay, with that disclaimer, we'll start with about his mother. It's in the fourth house, the Rahu was in it. Owner is the Buddhan. Buddhan was in the fifth house. The Lagna was having no graha in it. Meena Lagna. So before that, before we are coming into the conclusion, what is the element here? Any idea?
Air.
Air and? Sorry, I'm not asking air. Air is the correct? I'm asking about a fixed card. What is it? Dual.
And male.
Awesome. This is perfect. Okay, good, great. We keep that in mind. It's an air and dual sign, and the male and the nature. Rahu was placed in it. It is a fourth house. Now think about the mother, how it will be. How she will be. Sorry, how she will be.
Very good in communication.
Okay. Good in communication.
Might have a bit of confusion, is in the sense to make a decision or.
So what is it? What is the decision?
So wouldn't be able to decide very quickly for oneself. Decision making would be a bit confused because of too many options. Decision.
So decision is
Because
the
of the dual
problem.
nature-
Decision making is the issue. Okay. Okay. Why you're saying decision making is an issue? Because of the dual
because
nature?
it's a dual sign. Yeah, dual sign. So.
Okay, go ahead, go ahead. Any other thing? Okay, remember, wherever the Graha was placed in any Rasi, it will do its characteristic no matter what happened in the Rasi. Wherever the Graha was sitting, it will do its work. Anybody? Don't worry about it right or wrong. We are still practicing. I may tell thousand mistakes to you. Don't worry about it. We'll check with him how his mother will be. We will understand.
A
We
lot
are
of
No,
lot of illusions, meaning dream, like may not be real.
may not be real. Okay, illusion. Okay, then.
But Vanita, like it will be like a go-getter. She will solve problems and head start on everything. I'm feeling because Rahu is there. That
Okay, Rahu is there. Go get that. Okay. Then?
And out of the box thinking, very creative and problem solving.
Creative why? Creative why? Out of box?
Because the Rahu's always they think out of the box where others don't think. I thought that could be the character.
It's not an out of the box. Rahu, maybe I'm not thinking in that way. Rahu will think in it's not an try to create an illusion. The people will think that is an out of box. It's not an out of box. He tries to create an illusion. The people may not think in such a way. Most of the people who are in a cinema, they have the good
you said about that Shankar and all, no? That movies, that person. So like all like very big and magnificent kind of.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, are we discussing my characteristics or my mother's characteristics?
Your mother's characteristics.
Okay, okay.
Not yours. Not yours. Okay. The fourth house represents your mother, not yours. Okay, which one is correct? Which one is wrong? Okay, before that, I will tell you my idea here. When the Rahu was placed in the Mercury, Mercury is the when comes into the Mercury always thinks about the business. What I will get from this, because Mercury is good for business. Mercury thinks in a business way. What I get from this, what I can achieve from this. If anyone wants, if you are, for example, if he or she was talk to anybody, what kind I can get from them? The kind of the business mind is always. So that kind of the house, the Rahu was sitting in it. The Rahu was always thinking in exaggerated way. It's not an easiest person. Want to do everything in a very, very big way. The mother can be very good communicator because of the Rahu, because Rahu was in the Mercury's house. The Mercury was in, because the Mercury was not placed in a friend's house. That's why the communication may not reach the other person, or the communication may not be in a good level for her. But he thinks, or she thinks in such a way that other people cannot be able to think. The illusion level will be really high. Okay, let's stop at this point. We will check with him whether we said it is correct or.
Well, my mother is very loving. I don't know if she, she's not alive anymore, but she was a go-getter and she had very good communication skills. Yes.
Awesome.
And I don't know if you can say she was a dreamer, but she was
Okay, how you can
very.
find is this dreamer or not, right? When she was drawing anything, you can easily understand her dreaming level, how it will be.
Not really, but she was very strong-willed person, and
Awesome.
very very bold, very very intelligent also.
Definitely.
She was
Because
very
it was,
loving.
because it
I
was
mean,
in
she was very
Mercury's
loving,
house.
but everybody that knew her loved her, including all her relatives, like cousins and brothers and her brothers and sisters or cousins were wide. She had an extended family. Like, she had a lot of relatives around in the city that we lived in, and everybody loved her. So I don't know. That's all I can say.
Okay,
So,
now it's coming into your property. Now we can say before coming into his property, we'll say about his happiness, which makes him happy. Will coming into his happiness. What the one
okay.
important thing makes him happy?
What makes me happy?
Because Raghu is in the Mercury's house. One important thing maybe makes you happy very much.
My emotions are really kind of, I don't go too much either way. So I am, I'm very philosophical too. So Santushto yena kena chitte. That is in Bhagavad Gita 12th chapter. Krishna says, so whatever you have, you're satisfied. So whatever I have, I am very happy with what I have. So
really. But Raghu was not saying that one.
Well, the thing is, I don't know. I mean, I have in Bhava Kundali, I have Ravi co-located in the same house.
Oh.
So that probably makes a lot of difference. Ravi is Vargottama, and she is very, I think he is very favorable to me. So I think.
In your Janana Jatakam, where the sun will be?
Okay, you have your like 3 degrees into 3 degrees into Kataka, 18th July.
Oh, it's in the Kataka Rasi itself.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's why you said. Okay. Let's concentrate only on the Mercury and the Ragu only, which makes him, because we didn't come across the Parivardhana and the other stuff now. If I tell you, it will really confuse everyone in the room.
Okay.
We'll go with a very simple thing. What makes him happy? The happiness in his life. Don't worry about the whatever you think you say. We'll check with you whether that is correct or.
Okay.
Anybody? Okay, we forgot one thing also. What are the aspects into this? The 4th house, we forgot it. So let's make the life very simplified. We'll see now. Imagine there was no aspect in his 4th house. You know, any graha was aspecting the 4th house?
Only Ketu is aspecting, nothing else.
Okay, because the Raga was there, Ketu was there.
Yeah.
Okay, now your assumption is also correct. Ragu and the Mercury. Now the Ketu was obviously looking into it. Anybody?
Maybe travel, because Rahu takes you across boundaries. So maybe he likes to travel, or it gives him pleasure.
Okay.
True. That is correct. Yeah.
Okay.
And
Travel.
also probably, as she's completed in travel, maybe fulfillment of worldly desires, like by travel or status and prestige that is acquired.
The last point I didn't understand. What is it?
No, probably the status and the fame and that through his work.
Oh, status paid through his work. Okay. Through his work, why? Why work?
See, status is when we are working. That is how the status and things, or maybe in the life.
Well,
also
maybe I would suggest a different word, reputation. I focus
reputation,
on my
yeah.
reputation.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's the right word. Yeah.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay, reputation makes you happy.
Correct. And then I do have a very good reputation. So that's
This makes you happy, travel makes you happy. Any 1 point?
Because it all comes through his work, right? So that is kind of very satisfying and gratifying too.
But when Rao was there, there was no satisfaction.
Okay, I know.
I am satisfied. So
no, I'm just telling. I'm just telling. You definitely will be.
No, I had, I mean, that is I had a wonderful work career, so I liked everything. So, and all my bosses and co-workers, everybody appreciated my work. So I had a very good reputation, high reputation. So.
Okay, one more.
What was that?
Any one more? Why which makes you happy?
Oh.
Beyond this one, your travel and the reputation. One more.
Friends, company.
Friends and the company. Friends and the company. Okay, friends and the company makes you happy. Okay, friends and company. Okay, anybody disagree with this point? Friends and the company. We are discussing about his happiness. We are discussing about his happiness.
What about kids, Vanita? Happiness
because
from kids? Happiness from kids.
Why kids coming here? It's Rahu and the Mercury. Why kids coming here?
Because Mercury is in 5th house, right? Can't we take that?
Mercury is in the 5th house. Owner energy will only place when the 4th house was no graha in it. Okay, why I take the Mercury? This is the good point, very good point. See, when the 4th house didn't have any graha in it, right? Then that is the point you have to take complete significance of the Mercury. But here the Rahu was placed in it. Rahu occupying the Mercury's house. Now we have to understand where the Mercury was placed. Why I see that where the Mercury was placed, whether the owner was in a good location or not. There I understood the owner was in the kind of an enemy house because Mercury don't like the moon house. But here the planet was the malefic planet. So don't worry about that. The kind of a minus into minus, it looks like a plus kind of. So the progeny won't come into picture here. You agree? No?
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else? Okay, if your point will correct, when the Rahu, imagine instead of the Rahu, there was a Jupiter in it, then the child will come into picture. Okay, this is about his happiness. Okay, now one more thing. His property. Let's dig into his property. Till now we understand the mother and his happiness. Now the third one, it is about his property. What kind of the property he will have? He may have, he's having now. What kind of the property he's having? Anybody?
He will definitely have a great material success because of Rahu. So this can be a lot of
material success will be, or Rahu will give you material success to the peak. Once you didn't saturate it at this point, the individual, okay, the Rahu will give you the material benefit to the peak. No one can give that much as the Rahu. But there was one more thing here. One demerit is how much the Rahu was giving, it will give you come down easily also. So the individual have to be saturated at this level. Try not to be greedy. Try not to be moving into a drastic way. then the person can stay here itself. So it doesn't mean the Rahu will not give you the wealth. The Rahu will give you the wealth. Nobody will give like that. It will give you the wealth. Like the Saturn decided to give the wealth to you, it will give you everything. Like Rahu will move your material wealth in such a way to the peak, but at the same time, if the individual was not in such a saturated person, he makes your wealth down. He completely destroy your wealth to the bottom. That will also happen. Okay, now
Let
we have
me let me tell exactly what what I have. Actually, I do not have any property in my name.
In your name, okay. Also,
Yeah. So I have whatever I have is in my wife's name, but we have to see her jatakam, and maybe her jatakam is really good to have the property, but I do not have any.
Okay, you are the very good person to ask this question.
Yeah.
So consider you try to acquire a land or you try to acquire any of the property. What has happened to you? You are not able to get hold of it, or you don't like it, or you don't have a chance to buy it. What is happening?
I don't have any inclination to buy.
Oh, okay. So you all the time, whenever you try to buy a property, you will buy your name, wife's name only, correct?
And yeah, but I don't really, when you say all the time, but I don't have any intention of buying it. Yeah, a couple of properties that we have, it's all in my wife's name, yes.
This is the very good one. Awesome. So that's why you are here. This is the point. This is the person, this is the individual who knew where it was going. If the person was saturated here, because his property was not in his name, then definitely the Rahu effect won't come here. Come to him also.
Was it a conscious decision not to have it in your name? Because you had a choice to put it in your name as well or joint. But was it a conscious decision?
Yes, it's my consciousness. Yeah, because I think I had good career. I made enough money, but I didn't have any record of any property in my name. So that means I don't own anything. If I die, without any property. Even and also the loans. I don't really have any loans. So it gives me peace. And in addition to happiness, right now, or it has been for the last 20 years or so, my goal is peace. I want to be peaceful. So when you have when you have property in your name, you don't have peace. You will not have peace.
Okay, register his words to you because he's Meena Lagna. Whatever the things which you want to remember, anything about the Meena Lagna, remember his words.
And again, the Bhagavad Gita says,
Exactly. I wanted to ask this.
Tyagat Shantir Anantaram. So, dharma, karma phalatyagat, dhyanat karma phalatyaga, tyagat Shantir Anantaram. So, it's actually when you do karma phalatyaga, you will get shanti.
Okay, one final question to you. Is there any false allegation comes to you in your life, any point in your lifetime?
False allegations? Not really. I'm not affected by it. And I don't think, there may be a few, but I'm not affected by any of those false allegations. It did not affect me in any way.
Okay, this is good case study for us. Thank you so much. I will quickly
One question. Is there any planet in 6th house, Mr. Murli?
No, 6th house does not have any planets. Okay. That is the Simharaj.
Leo, yeah.
Yeah. I don't have any. I think you all have my chart. Meena Lagna, Lagnadipati in the 2nd house. 3rd house has owner Shukra along with Kuja. 4th house Rahu. 5th house Buddha and Ravi. and the 8th house Chandra, 10th house Ketu, 12th house Shani.
Okay, we'll quickly moving into the fifth house, then we will end up this lesson there. I have one announcement there also. Quickly moving into there, if you can. Okay. Now, the fifth house we already know about is it's about the children and the creativity and the innovative skills the individual will have. If you have the children or not, you can able to understand from the fifth house patient. You can also understand if the person was going to have the test tube baby or any kind of an artificial injection. The children will come. You can also understand about that. Your intellectual status, the speculated kind of business, mainly the luck, you have the luck or no, can be understand from the fifth house. Your pleasures and love affairs, you have the love affairs. If the auspiciousness increased in your fifth house, your love affairs will be succeed in your life. The legal or illegal amusements, kidnap, other kind of the stuff can also be checked in the fifth house. Mostly, I don't know how many of you heard about this. There is one division of astrology called a Prasanna Jyotika. There is a different kind of the Prasanna Jyotika. When what the time when you are asking the question, that time they will see the Gocharam and understand where the Graha was placed. Then they will tell you what kind of the questions you are coming to ask, and what is a solution also they will tell you. And the Prasanna is also comes under the different category. Okay, why I tell you that? That point in time, when the peoples are coming and asking about the kidnap and the love affairs and the legal and illegal amusements, they are definitely seen to the fifth house for that. And for mainly what the fifth house we are going to see, the children, your intellectual status, mainly for the luck. And it comes into our body part, it comes into your belly, liver, and the spleen. The body covered by this house. Importantly, belly, liver, and the spleen. Fifth house. Imagine the fifth in the Kalapurusha chart. Who's the fifth house? Remember, Kalapurusha chart. Who's the fifth house? Simha is the fifth house.
Leo and Sun.
Leo, Sun. Simha.
Particularly, considered about the upper stomach. The upper stomach, the area, fully for the fifth house. Your liver, spleen will come, and the belly means upper stomach area only. Okay, now that how many children you have, I don't know about how the people will find out, but my grandmother and grandfather had in their age, the peoples will have 7, 8 children or 12 children. It's very easy. It's a natural for them. If you ask them, they will say, I had 12 brothers, 9 brothers. And my grandfather friends, when I go and check with them, they will say, I had this is my 8th sister, this is my 9th brother. It's in casual for them. Now the generation was coming into a stage like the siblings or 1 or 2, even though there's somebody who didn't have a sibling itself. But that point in time, the sibling rates are really high. You go and ask them, they will say, I have 5 siblings, at least 5 siblings. So now coming into here. The fifth house represents your first child, not the second child, first child. How you can find out the second and the third and the fourth child? For the first child, which is the third house, fifth house is for the first child. We already understand that the younger sibling will be the third house. So fifth house is the first child. The younger sibling is the second house. The second child will be the younger sibling of the first child, right? So count from the 3, 5, 6, 7. From the second, we will find out the 7th house for the second child. What is the third child? third child house. That will be the ninth house.
Ninth house.
So you can go with like that, jump over one houses to other. You will find out in which number you are. I mean, fourth child, fifth child. Then find out from your previous child. First child, the second child can easily find out. Mostly some people, if you gave the Jana Jadagam to the astrologer in any of the village astrologers, they will see Jadagam in one Jana Jadagam itself. They will give you all kind of the history. But still, I suggest you to go whenever you go and find the astrological predictions for you, analysis for you, go with your individual chart. That is the best and best. Okay, come back here. Fifth house is for the Putra Sthana, Putra Bhava, mainly about the children. It tells clearly about the children. If you how the children will be, you have any kind of the trouble in having the children. Everything will be defined in the fifth house itself. You are creative and innovative, so you have the creativity or not, you don't have the creativity or not, everything will be understood from this point of view. Okay, then the main thing we have to see about the children, luck and your intellectual status. Okay, then I quickly go through one Jatagam which I had. I don't know who's this. I forgot the name. Forgive me. Someone which I take from the our database only. It's on December 10, 1965, 7:16 p.m. They born on Chennai. Okay, let's see about the Tithi. Tithi is the Krishna Tritiya. Krishna Tritiya means it's towards the after the Amavasya. Day is the Friday. The nakshatra is the Ardra Nakshatra, Ragu Nakshatra. Yoga is the Shukla Yoga. Vani in Tamil we said it is a Vanisai, Vanija. In Sanskrit. Karana was that. Okay, why I'm telling this one? If the peoples were born on the Vanisai Karana, these peoples are very good in business. Very means very good in business. Vanisai means in Tamil translation, it's a business. The mind will think in such a way that they always have to do business. They are very good in business. Even though they had the profession in one area, imagine he or she will be a doctor in his one age. They converted into a business man or woman later in their age also.
Sorry, Vanita, who will be good in business? Sorry, I'm out, so I missed something.
Oh, okay, here the Karana is the Vanija Karana, right? Vanija means in Tamil we call it as a Vanisai. The Vanija Karana means the people who are good in business. Remember that one thing, good in business. Okay, let's coming into the Atma Karaka. Who is that? Mars is an Atma Karaka, so definitely he is the warrior in his life. In his, then we will see about the low degree planet. It's Rahu. Correct? Yes or no?
Rahu, Ketu, both are 10.
Jupiter is 3, no?
Oh, okay. Jupiter is there. There is a story behind that. See, when the Rahu was in the 10 means you should not consider it as a 10. You minus from the 30. It's a reverse
No,
order.
the least one is DK. Dara Karaka.
Yeah,
so I think she is right. Yeah. Jupiter is right.
Jupiter is correct. Yeah.
DK.
My mistake.
Anita, what repeat? No, what is DK, PK?
PK is the Putra Karaka. Putra Karaka.
Okay.
This is the Pitri Karaka.
DK is Dara Karaka.
Dara
Dara is like Dara is wife. Actually, that's the least. Sorry.
Oh, Dara. Okay.
Dara. Okay, let's see about the fifth house from here.
Sorry to say.
Okay, the ascendant is the Mithuna. Mithuna having the moon and the Jupiter was in the retrograde Jupiter, and from whom find the fifth house. Mithuna Lagna. This is the Lagna.
Tula and no planets.
This is the 5th house, right? Yes or no?
Yeah.
Who's the house it is? Tula Rasi. Tula Rasi, who is the owner?
Venus.
Venus is the owner. Where the Venus was placed?
In the Makara and Shani's place.
It's in the sun. Is Venus and the Saturn are the friends. So Venus was sitting in the friend's house, which is the 8th house. Okay, this is an interesting thing. 8th house, Venus was placed, which is the 5th house. The 5th house, owner was placed in the 8th house, but 8th house is the friend's house. Okay, what is the 8th house is meant for? We didn't even come into the 8th house now. It's a kind of the misery. It's a kind, the house of the misery is also the 8th house. I don't want to confuse at this point, but we'll come back to the same Jadakam later also to clearly understand this point, because the 5th house owner was sitting in the 8th house, but 8th house, the status was good because it's in the friend's house. So at this point, we are good. We have to check the aspects also. Any graha was aspecting the Venus, or any graha was aspecting the 5th house? Tell me that very quickly.
5th house is aspected by Jupiter.
Okay, awesome. Retrograde Jupiter. Then
That's it.
any other thing? We have to check the Jadagam, the people who are in this class, so that we can check with them how's their children, how they, is there any kind of the.
This is my chart, Vanita ma'am.
Oh, who's this?
Satish.
Oh, thank you so much. Okay, for your chat, because I had this from the database. You born on this 1964?
Sorry?
Your date of birth is correct?
Yeah, 10th, it's correct.
Okay, that's fine then. Then we have the participant also, we can check with him. Okay, now the 5th house is for, we are only looking into the children only. We'll see the luck later on. We'll see about the children first. So firstly, before we embarrassed with our answers, we'll check with him. You have a children, you're married, you have a children. Or Satish?
Yeah, I'm married. I have one son.
Okay, we had an answer also, but we have to check that in the chart. We align with our answers. It's a kind of re-engineering from the answers. Okay?
Yeah.
Yeah. From the 5th house, we have the owner is the owner in the Saturn's house. Saturn and the Venus with the friend. Now we have to see whether how the children will do. Because now imagine the Venus was in the 8th house. How is your son's birth? Is it a difficult one or is it an easiest birth for your wife?
No, at the last minute there was a cesarean suggested, and they did a cesarean.
Because when 8th house was involved, there should be some kind of the misery will come, because the 5th house law is sitting in the 8th house. Your son or definitely will hold the Venus quality, like how the Venus quality will be if he was well decorated, he or she is well decorated and want to good rest and aligned towards the fragrance. How is your son only, right?
Yeah, one son.
And how he's a well dressed or interested in
Yes, very much. Actually, he's Makara Lagna and Tula Rasi.
That's an awesome one. Makara Lagna.
And Chita Nakshatra.
Okay. You are really in a very good. This one we will come back to the later when we are learning about the nakshatra and the relationship between the father and the mother, the father and the child, father and the child. When in a family, if you see, consider you have 5 members in your family, you put all their jatagam. Definitely, you will find the similarities. They will born on the same lagna. They will born on the same rashis. They will born on the same day at least the same month, or else the same nakshatra. Consider
One more to add, my wife is Tula Lagna and Makar Rasi.
wow, this is awesome. Because why I'm saying this, see, his Lord was sitting in the Makara Rasi, and like the father and the mother having the relationship with the Makara Rasi itself. Definitely, you will see the magic in the chart. Okay? Now, his son definitely will hold the Venus quality so much because there was no graha in it. It's the best an example. There was no graha in it. Definitely, here the Venus will play the most beautiful role. The entire thing will be played by the Venus itself. So, his son will definitely want to decorate himself, and he wants to be well dressed and keep things in such a way that very creative and artistic talent will come. All the Venus quality will come to him.
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Anybody wants to add anything here? Because I quickly want to finish the class. So that's why I told all the answers. I'm extremely sorry. Anybody want to add anything? No? At this point, you're able to understand, right? How you are coming into the fifth house, how you are deriving the answer. Anybody want to answer anything?
Vanita, what about Guru's influence on the fifth house here? Because
Definitely
Guru is a Putra Karaka also, right?
Definitely will be. See, that's why I missed that point also. When the fifth house, eighth house interrelated, and the aspecting, see, he said it last minute it went into a cesarean. So that's why the grace of the Guru only, because the Guru was aspecting the fifth house. The house owner, the owner was placed in the eighth house. Even though there was a misery, you will be escaped. It's a grace of the Guru's energy. Even though it was retrograde, the auspiciousness energy will be there. For example, if the retrograde planet was the Jupiter was a normal Jupiter, and the auspicious energy you received was high, then we have to check his mother's chart also. How his Jupiter's energy, how his her fifth house will be. Then we have to check that. Then we'll find out why she was ended up with the cesarean. There is also a possibility to avoid the cesarean when you are enhanced that particular energy. If for this one, the Jupiter energy will help you to reduce the misery. This point is clear. How is that?
Okay.
You understand this point, right? There is an inauspiciousness in this house because of the eighth house involved, but that one was little bit reduced because of the auspiciousness side of the Jupiter. Is that okay? Anybody want to add anything? And
How did you arrive at childbirth? There was issue during childbirth.
oh, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, because for me, you are saying I am just hearing that, but out of this chart, how do I derive that?
See, when the fifth house was not having any of the inauspiciousness, right? Imagine the fifth house was having a very good auspicious graha in it, auspicious site was in it. Then the birth of the first child will be very normal. There is no complication will be there. The birth will be very smooth. The health of the child will be very good. The mother is also very good. But when the inauspiciousness was increased in the fifth house, how this inauspiciousness increased in this fifth house for this now?
No planet and Jupiter is
No
aspecting,
planet
which
is not an
is
inauspicious. No planet is not an inauspiciousness. See.
okay.
Wait a second. See.
You have to look at the Lord,
And
where it is placed.
maybe when fifth house is aspected,
Wait a second.
Lord of fifth house
When there is no graha, I think we should look at the Lord of the house.
See, the fifth house, this is your fifth house. There was no Lord in it. So this is not an inauspiciousness. This is good.
Okay.
Because whoever the owner will take over that significance, will take over that whatever the fifth house will do, it becomes that owner's responsibility. Who's the owner?
Okay.
Venus is the owner. Where the Venus was placed in an 8th house. Yes or no?
Yeah.
So the 8th house will bring you misery in your life. So that's why when the 5th and the 8th house combined, associate together in any other way, by aspect, by this kind of the Lord placement or the Graha association, then we have to conclude the inauspiciousness for this house. So that's
8th
why
house by default is misery.
yes, by default, whatever the misery in your life, see the 8th house. That's why when in your Jatakam, whichever the 8th house, see the owner, see the Graha in it. That will bring you misery in your life. See in your Janana Jatakam. That's why I always tell you, remember your Janana Jatakam in your mind. If I ask you which Rasi is your 8th house, you have to tell me. Which house is your 8th house?
Okay, got it.
So that when you remember that one, you will understand, you compare against your life. Whatever you lived so far, you can compare against it and find out, okay, what kind of the misery I faced in my life. Okay, which is the Lord, which is the Graha placed in it, then you can easily understand. So why I coming into this conclusion, the childbirth is the problem? Because the 8th house definitely will bring the misery during the birth. So that's why I asked him, okay, there is also one more point that if the owner is not considered that here also there was no Graha in it. Imagine a situation. Here also no Graha in it. Then you have to see who's the owner. Saturn is the owner. Where the Saturn was placed. If the Saturn was placed in a very good situation and the Saturn is not retrograde, definitely the childbirth will be normal. If the Saturn was retrograde and not placed in a good position, definitely the childbirth will be difficult.
Okay.
This is easy to understand?
Now, yeah, because you brought in the 8th house misery part in it, then I can understand that.
So for me also, 5th house Lord is placed in the 8th house. 5th house, but there are grahas in 5th house, so never mind.
Then we have to study your chart next week. What happened?
What happens if Venus was in 12th house? The own house, but it's in 12th. Vrishabha.
Vrishabha. Owner is why we coming
Same
into
thing. The
okay,
same thing. Instead of 8th, if
Same,
Venus
no.
was in 12th, which was Vrishabha.
Oh, the Venus was in the 12th house. Venus is the owner of the 5th house. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Okay,
And he's
instead
in
of
his
the
own
Venus
house in Vrishabha.
Oh, okay. Instead of the Venus was here, when it was placed, the Venus was here, what will happen, correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, this is also the inauspicious increased, but it won't give you the misery. The childbirth may be trouble for you, but it won't be leading you to a surgery, definitely. Because this is the 12th house, it's for your Aina Saina Bhava. You remember, this is for your sleep and your whatever the things, it gives you pleasure in the bed, that goes for your 12th house. It won't give you the surgery, but this is also not, you should not conclude the situation by only the Venus. We have to consider the aspect. But for him, I can easily tell that because it's in the 8th house association. That's why I told him the first birth is the difficult. The 12th house is not an auspicious house. It's the hidden energy. The energy will be hidden, but it may not lead you into the misery.
So when you say surgery here, won't there be involvement of Mars, Kuja?
That's what I also thought. Yeah, Mars should be there.
So do we have to go into the daily thing?
Okay. The success of the surgery will be how it will be for you and what time you will have a surgery. Your body may come across any kind of the surgery, you will understand from the Mars. But here I said a misery only. I understand the first birth is the difficult, but I don't know whether it is a surgery or not. He only said it is cesarean, but I clearly understand there is a difficult in the first birth.
No, but then if we look into the Dasha Bhukti or something
We
like
can
that,
easily understand.
Will Kuja be there, which will indicate a cesarean?
Possibility is high, really high. Because when the Dasha Buddhi was happening at that time, particularly Mars Buddhi was happening, when your Mars was not in the good place in your chart, then there is a possibility of the surgery. But there is other points, other factors also involved. So you may not easily conclude into a situation. You ended up in the surgery. Okay, this one is also, I'm not saying you are ended up in a surgery. I said definitely the misery will be there. The misery can be anything. The difficult, but I heard that some people, they not ended up in the cesarean, but the first child born was 3 days they are struggled. Then the 4th day only the child was born. That's a misery, right? The 3 days is not it's a kind of the life and death situation. The misery will becomes in any form. You may the holding of the first baby itself, very great pain you may come across. There are different factors involved in it, but the Mars definitely will tell you have a surgery or not, when and what, which situation. But Mars, I forgot your question. What you said? The Mars.
Will Mars indicate surgery?
Mars indicate the surgery. That's very much true.
Dasha Bhukti, maybe the Dasha Bhukti during that time would have Mars in there, or maybe Antara or something like that.
Correct. I think that's a good point.
Childbirth.
That's a good point to consider. Yeah, you should see.
Yeah, definitely you have to see that. See, when there was an 8th house, there was an inauspiciousness. If you see the inauspiciousness in that, look into the other things. Whether because for the childbirth, the one possibility is a cesarean, right? And you have to see into the Mars. Depends upon the situation, you go and see that. But definitely, importantly, whenever you see the Janana Jatakam in your hand, definitely Dasa Buddhi, it have to be next in your fingertip, which Dasa Buddhi was happening, and when the Dasa Buddhi was happening, when the Janana Jatakam was born. So then clearly we'll understand. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Vanita, it's 1 hour and 20 minutes already. YouTube will not be happy. So
Definitely. Okay, we'll finish the class here. Okay,
and by the way, 8th house is, if 8th house is inauspicious, my Rasi house is my 8th house. So
Chandra was also
so you're Kataka Lagna Bharani Nakshatra, right?
No, Kanya Lagna Bharani Nakshatra.
Bharani Nakshatra.
Kanya
Okay.
Lagna Bharani Nakshatra.
But your son you are also born in July. Son is in Kataka. Yeah.
Correct. Just 2 days from you.
Okay. So yours is 20th?
Correct.
Okay, advance happy birthday to you too. Actually, according to yoga, according to Panchanga, 4 of the elements match on this Tuesday, which is 16.
Yeah.
So, but because it's Tuesday, they told me to celebrate something on the Thursday. I'll have some,
Well, I was
traditional
born
ceremony.
on a Tuesday, so I can't say that.
No, but to do some ceremonies, so we said we'll do it on Thursday, which is
Awesome.
actual day.
Awesome. Okay.
Thank you.
One more
Yeah,
thing before I am ending up the class. There was one thing. I'm traveling on the coming week. Exactly, I'm traveling on the 18th of this week. Then I will come back here on 22nd. So there won't be the classes on the upcoming week. We will have this class on. I have an option. We can have the class on the after 22, the Saturday can we have a class continuously with the Sunday, like Saturday and Sunday class. Is that okay for you? Or we can just go with the 1 week leave and Sunday. Which option
Vanita,
is
whatever is comfortable for you. If you're
For
traveling,
you, yes, yeah, that's.
the next week, the coming week, it's not possible for me to take the class
Yeah,
because
we'll take off. Yeah.
18, 19, 20, 21, I'm completing travel. So coming week we'll have a Saturday also a class. Is that okay for you all? After
Yeah,
the
we are good.
Yes.
I'm telling
Yes,
the
we are
truth
good.
also.
on the 20th.
27 and 28. And then
27 and 28.
continuously next day. Is that okay?
Yeah, I think so.
Yes.
We are good.
Let's have a poll on WhatsApp.
Yeah, that's a good one.
So that everybody can just answer
No
that.
need of that, ma'am. We can just sort it out here itself. These are the people who are normally attending the class.
Vanita, if you're comfortable with the timings, go for it. If you have the time and if you're comfortable, go for it. We can record and put it online.
Okay. Yeah. The next, the 27, 28, I'm almost free, I guess. We'll see that.
No, you
We are
travel
good,
to your
Vanita. I'm good.
destination and then figure out the availability.
I will come on the 22nd itself. My travel
Okay.
is 18 to 22 only. After that, I come back. So the
Okay.
27, I'm okay. Let's see. Will come and I will message you. Currently, we'll make it as a Saturday and Sunday class. If there was any change, I will post a message. Is that okay?
Sure.
Yeah,
Quite
sure,
fine.
Vanita.
Works. Yeah.
Fine.
Thank you so much.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.
Thank you all. Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Vanita.
ma'am.
Thank you. Have safe travels.